So there's been news flying around, going around, you know, since early hours of today about the collapse of 9-year-old marriage of Elizabeth John and Yomi Black. Well, and then so I got online, did some research, so it's everywhere, it's everywhere in our face like that. But then I also be very careful, went to their Instagram pages to see what was going on. Since this alleged breakup post started from Elizabeth's um, Instagram, somewhere on an Instagram. And so I went up there to check, and I've not seen anything that looks like this on there. So I'm still in code, still hoping that this is not true because I've been friends or followers of both individuals on Instagram for years now, and from my own point of view, it has been love, 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 love out there like that. All they've shown each other is love. The husband is always giving props, always giving props to his wife. You could see in his face like he's been really, really happy with having her in his life, and likewise the wife also. You know, she's always there commenting under his posts, under his jokes, and so much more. So, what could go wrong? I know this is marriage, but I know, but I'm just wondering what could go wrong. What could be the issue? These people don't. I mean, things that really cause problems in most marriages are in basic marriages. I don't think they have that. I mean, he has a very beautiful wife. She has, from my point of view, caring and rich husband, and I think she too, she's doing well in her career. Likewise, he is. So, what could be the issue? They have a great kid, a lovely looking kid. So, what could tear them apart? I'm confused. That's why I'm just feeling like this story is there's more to it or there's nothing to it. Like probably this is just some rumor created by some rumor monger out there. But I'm just hoping that's what it is because they look like a beautiful family, beautiful unit that don't no one would really want to see, break apart. I am hoping if there are issues that they can still come together and solve it because irrespective of wherever we go ahead to end up with, excuse me, nobody's perfect. So I feel like we should still find a way to get if this is true. But I'm still keeping my fingers crossed because I have not seen anything tangible out there that really points to this happening, a breakup of the 9-year-old marriage happening. I feel it's just somebody playing pranks. So until we have concrete evidence, like one of the parties steps out, let's keep our fingers
Yeah.
crossed. I hope
So moving on to the
it is not
next
so.
topic, which is about the pastors sacked from Winners Chapel Church, and typical Nigerian thing that's become national news, national topic. Everybody talking about it. Church sacks pastor because allegedly the pastors were not generating enough revenue for the church. That is how the story is being put out there right now. That and definitely now which picture would generate much more traffic than anything else. Is using the picture of the founder of the church. People could be so sly and picture Pastor Oyedepo's picture is right out there and being used as um, something to pull traffic to this issue. Now, let's look at it constructively. Um, Definitely, we know the church has a structure. When you start to manage a church that big, it has to have a structure, it has to have rules and regulation and everything guiding it. So you go into that system, you know there's a structure on ground, you know there are rules on so set that you must follow. So you know what you're going into before you get in there. So these pastors must have known, oh, I'm going to become a full-time pastor at Winners Chapel. This is what and what and what is expected of me. They will have gone through all that during their formative years of, wanting to become a pastor. So it's not like they didn't know what it means for them to be in that position. So I don't think it will come as shock to any one of them if the church chose this decision. And then you can't always blame the head for all um, decisions that is being taken. Sometimes some people work like a robot, and sometimes some people, fall victim to some actions, some decisions, because it was taken generally. It was taken based on data and not them carefully looking at individuals before taking those decisions. That's what I feel might have aggrieved the pastor who came out to talk about this, since he said he just got his letter in 2020. So as you know, this channel is basically about me expressing my views. It's just how I feel, what I feel. That's what I'm expressing. That doesn't mean is the right thing or it's the way to go. It's just my view. So looking at it, I I feel like let me start from the pastor side. Why they might feel aggrieved is that, or this particular pastor is, they've taken this thing as is this pastoral thing is has become like a job for them. So the church asking them to go, handing them sack letters is basically like taking food from their mouth. So there's nobody that'll get sacked who won't feel bitter about it. That's just it. You can't get sacked and not feel bitter. Even if you're in the wrong, you still feel like, well, I think I should have been given more time. I think I should have this, I should have that. I mean, so that's just it. These people they've got families, and where else would they go? They have to start all over. They built up their life to become clerics. Now the church they chose to serve is asking them to go. You know, some might feel burnt by the fact they think they were judged based on data and not based on realities of things, or where they are, and circumstances, economic circumstances, and a lot of other factors. Like, if facts were being checked properly, maybe um, the person who was in charge of this might have seen things in a different manner and not just stay somewhere and take decisions. I feel some of the 40 pastors or more might fall into that category, and it's definitely uh, it's human to hear. So no human is perfect, but definitely some of them might also have fallen into categories of people who are not just fit for the work, and they've they've stayed in a certain place for so long without growing. I mean, who wants to have a staff who isn't contributing to your goal, and you're paying the person? Obviously, we all know that the church pays these people salaries, housing, and some of their kids get scholarship to schools. All this are not being said. Get scholarship to schools in Winners Chapel. They enjoy all these benefits based on what other church members are providing, and then you are not giving like your 100% to give back, so that other people too could also enjoy these opportunities. You know, let's go back to the church. The church said specifically that it's not the letter that was sent out. It's not being portrayed the way it actually was sent. So the growth that was being talked about in the letter was about um, the church numbers, church growth, not basically financial growth. Like they've been in the same position for numbers of years. Very few CEOs who continue to pay salaries to workers who are not, giving much or anything to the growth of the company. Who will do that? You will continue to pay a worker who is not bringing anything into your company, who's not adding any value? No, nobody's going to do that. And even the Bible doesn't support that. If it's in the Bible there, if a tree is not growing fruit, you cut it off. You cut it off. You've chose that line, and just because you are now called a pastor doesn't exempt you from your responsibilities. So go forth and preach the word. One of the basic things the church has asked you to do is to win souls. And winning souls means growing your numbers in church. So if you're not doing that, that means you're not fulfilling your end of the bargain of what the church has told you to do. The church is taking care of your expenses, paying you salaries and all that, and you are not doing what you ought to do. Oh, I've gone out, I've gone to preach, and people are not coming, this and that. But you signed up. That's not an excuse. A marketer in the bank is duties to go out there and get money to the bank. The bank doesn't want to hear any excuses from him, no matter how genuine they might sound. Their own concern is get that money to the banks. Likewise, because that's what they are being paid for. Likewise, this you sign up to become a full-time pastor. You have to win souls. You have to grow your church numbers. Make sure your community, you know, loves you and absorbs you as their own. But if you're not doing that, then what right do you have to still stay where you are? So I mean, anybody that's out there blaming the church for what they've done, on the flip side, the person in charge might have used data to, might have, um, how would I put it? Judge some people based on data. But overall, I guess if you're not producing, then you've got to go. That's just it. That's just it. So that's just my own view. Um, Drop your comments down below. And let's rub minds. I'm open to constructive criticism at any time. All right. Bye.